I'm Deirdre with Soul Enhancements. Today is day 3 of the Sovereign Empath. I want to introduce you to Sean. Say hello.
Hello, I'm Sean.
And he is helping me. Yesterday he had put himself on mute, and so you never heard from him. It wasn't that
Yeah,
he didn't speak, it was that you didn't hear him.
I forgot that I'd muted myself when Mom said to me everyone to mute.
So today you should hear him. Today should be hopefully really interesting. You know, the first day we talked about your boundaries and that you have the option of what you let into your space. Just like you have the option with the people in your life, whether you want to say yes or no to what you do, where you go. You are not required to say yes to everything, that you are allowed to say no. You are not required to accept every energy that comes your way just because you are an empath. You have the ability to filter and to choose what you accept into your space, into your body. And then yesterday, we learned some techniques to release the energies that we have taken in and absorbed into our being. Today, we're going to look at the roots, at the origins. Why are, and I'm going to say it this way, why are we empaths? I wouldn't be up here teaching you this if I were not an empath, just like you. Now, like some of you, I went through much of my life not knowing I was an empath because I had closed the door so completely on my emotions, on my empathy, on my spirituality, on all of it, that it was as if it did not exist. When I opened that door, everything flooded in so extremely. It wasn't easy to open the door, however. And that's quite an interesting and long conversation, and I'm not going to go deep into that here today. If there are some who want to get into that with me, DM me, and we can do that separately. But why are you an empath? And what are the things that created your sensitivity or your lack of sensitivity? And I will be going into that. So you're now able to recognize what is yours and what is not. And you can begin to choose. I'm not going to say you're an expert at it yet. You're going to have to keep practicing. You're going to have to keep working on this. If you leave this event and you don't keep practicing these skills, you're going to go back to exactly where you were. It is going to be up to you to want these skills as a natural part of your being and to work it. And you can have them as a permanent part of who you are. But why you? Why me? Why Sean? Why Cynthia? Most people are told their sensitivity is just their personality, that they're just emotional, too emotional, too sensitive, too much, that they just feel more than others, that they just need to tap it down. Stop being that way. As if they can. Empathy is not random. This empathy always has roots, and it always starts somewhere. For many of us, it started in our early life. When you learned to feel others to stay safe. My father would come in the house, and the entire energy of the house would shift instantaneously. And I would need to feel it when I was a year old, 6 months old, 18 months old. I would need to feel that energy to know whether it was safe to cry, to know whether it was safe to laugh. I couldn't wait to hear his tone of voice, to hear what he had to say. I needed to feel the energy that he walked in with to know whether I was safe or not. I learned this very, very young. And every client that I have that has similar undercurrent, they needed to learn to gauge their environment very, very young in order to know how to behave to stay safe. I turned it off at a point where my anger got so intense that I was afraid I was going to hurt people. And I did not know how to turn off my anger without turning off every emotion and every bit of feeling in my body. So I turned off everything. And I gained hundreds of pounds. Not immediately, but slowly over time. Because you can't just turn off your feelings. In some way or another, you deaden them. I use my examples because they're safe. I own those. I can share them with you. Nobody else can be hurt by my sharing my story. I was able to control my anger in this way. I never hurt anybody after one occasion where it got out of control. Nobody was badly hurt at that point, but the only one I hurt at that point was me. And for me, that seemed like a very fair compromise. I could keep hurting me. At that point, I was out of the environment where my father had any opportunity to hurt me. When I talk to clients, they have similar backgrounds. There are some, and I also have Sean's permission
You do have my permission.
to speak of him because he doesn't like to talk very much. Sean, while he does not come from direct abuse, came in on the autism spectrum. And our kids that come in not neurotypical, divergent, neurodivergent, I guess is the new word. Not so new, but they come in with a whole new set of abilities. And they are much more sensitive. They have brought in a whole new layer of abilities and sensitivities that many of us in my age group are very simply offering drugs to tap them down. I took Sean to a spiritual coach who then looked at Mom, and nobody can drop off a 9-year-old autistic kid with a spiritual coach. The spiritual coach looks at you and says,
What the hell do you want me to do with this?
Yeah, what do you, Mom, you're staying here too. So at this point, Mom had to address her own abilities, unlock her own emotions, and bring back in all that I had turned off. And Sean and I went on a journey together. And I had to pull back in my emotions, my empathy, my connection. Sean, from the time he was born, he played with kids on the other side of the veil. All his friends were dead kids. He
Not
was
all, 90% of them.
Okay. 90% of his friends were dead kids. He was really, really angry with me because I wouldn't acknowledge his friends. I didn't see them. I didn't know they were there. But he was really, really angry with me because I wouldn't acknowledge his friends. And they were as real to him and as alive to him. And he saw them as clearly. He didn't even see any difference between them and the alive kids. So as I grew and I brought in my abilities again, it was a bit overwhelming. So what you experience may have started in your family patterns, or like Sean, as I say, when Sean went to high school, he took in all the emotions, everything from every kid in the classroom. He would come home every single day with a migraine headache. And we had to figure out ways for him to shield, for him to block it out. For him, Libyan gold was like a lifesaver. And then I got myself a piece because at this point I was being overwhelmed by everything. When we first got it, we couldn't even connect to our angels and guides. We had to figure out how to wear it and connect. But the origins for me were family. The origins for Sean were how he was born. For some of us, our origins are going to be past lives and things that we have experienced and brought with us from lifetime to lifetime. So I want you to think about this for a moment for yourself. When did you first notice that you can feel others? And you can either put it into the chat or you can take a minute and share it with us.
I'll share. I think as a teenager, I kind of had something going on, but I explained it away. And it wasn't until my 40s and I had some kind of physical problem and figuring it out that I realized, oh my God, I used to eat so much when I was a little girl because I was masking. I remember being completely out of control. At one point, I was told, as my mom took me to the doctor, it's like she eats so much, she throws up every like third night. And I was little.
Yeah. Yes.
And and it didn't hit me till my inquiry in my 40s that, oh my God, this is what this was.
Yeah. Yeah. That, like Heidi, I don't remember not feeling others. Jenna, during COVID, working in the ICU unit. Yeah. So yours just kind of really came in when you got bombarded. It had probably been there, but in the background. And then when it hit, it came in. Sylvia, about 8 years ago. Cynthia, yes, family. Suzanne in preschool, so all your life. Sylvie learned the word empath in her 30s after a narcissistic relationship. But the word and the feelings are not necessarily learned at the same time. Yeah, Krista, she thinks she's known all her life, but didn't know the word. That's pretty standard. Yeah, always been one. It's so for some of you, it might not be a problem, though I think that most of you, if you're here, it has had an influence in your life. One person who did not choose to take the course, and I found it a little bit interesting, said that they were too swamped to be here and said that they were keeping their empath self at home due to sensory overload. I found it interesting that they would not choose to sign up, but would choose to stay home due to sensory overload. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their choice, but I did find that interesting. So for some, we picked up our empathy, or we want our empathy. It was about safety. And some of you, I know your stories well. And it really was about safety like me. For others, it was about reading the room and about understanding what wasn't being said. For others, and this is a lot about the nurses and those that were the caretakers, it's about healing and helping and knowing what's needed before you're asked. You want to be there so badly. And helping, supporting, holding space, making the world a safe space. And for some of us, it's a part of something deeper, a way of perceiving energy and truth beyond words. And I think, Gina, this is what you're looking for. It's not so much reading people, but that energy and truth that's beneath the words. Just being able to really feel into the energies. So, and there are different types of empaths. There, some of us feel everything. Some of us simply read the room. Some of us take on the energies. My biggest thing anymore is that spiritual and feeling the anxiety of the collective empathy. The rest of it I've really got under control, but that spiritual anxiety is where I'm still working. So when you don't understand what your empathy is or why you have it, you're still kind of at it still kind of controls you. So as you learn what it is and why it's there, you need the skills as to closing the door, choosing what enters, releasing what isn't serving you, but also to really understand what it's there for. That it's not something that just happens to you, but that it's information that you are seeking, information that you yourself are looking for. Ah, I like that, Gina. A little bit of a fear radar. So you're actually learning where you do have empathy. I love it. So when you really begin to understand where all this information is coming from and why you are seeking it in the first place, something shifts. So you stop asking, why am I like this? And begin asking, how is this meant to serve me? And how can I use it in a beneficial way? So I want you guys to take a couple minutes. And I want you to actually journal. One of the things I ask you to do is bring paper and pencil. How can you use this information in a beneficial way? We have so much pollen around here. My allergies are out of control. My apologies.
Sorry, could you repeat the question again, please?
How can you use the information that you gain from sensing in a beneficial way?
Do you want us to share it all, Deirdre, or just write?
Well, just write for a few minutes and then we'll share.
Are we trying to kind of look out of the box and discover new things about ourselves in this subject? Not what we've been doing in the past.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. You need about 2 more minutes? Or are you done? If you're done, give me a thumbs up. Okay. So I ask people to share on this one, to actually talk. I think that everybody will gain, and I know Heidi is not feeling well, so I'm not going to ask her to, but. So Heidi says she used to reflect back to her clients and navigate her environment to help me know when I need to self-regulate. Excellent. Who would like to share next?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay, Gina.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of made me realize that I can feel people's fear, and I can definitely use that in my coaching, a bit like what Heidi has said, use it to reflect back, but also to protect myself, because we don't need other people's fears. There's enough going on without other people's, and also recognizing how fear can affect people's behaviors and moods, and so just giving out and sending out love and compassion to sort of ease out the vibrations.
Perfect. Wonderful. Also, you know, if you realize that you can pick up on people's fear, you can use that ability to start to pick up on other things. So
yeah, and just recognizing it, I suppose, slowing down enough to notice.
Wonderful work.
Thank you.
Heather.
So I had a big aha experience about 2 months ago. I was at a group meeting. I've been part of this group for 10 years more. And someone was bringing someone new, which we don't really do. It's not an open group. And the minute I saw this person who I'd never met at all from across the room of probably 12 feet, huge alarms went off for me. Danger, danger, be careful, be careful. I was stunned because I don't ever recall having that experience with somebody I've just laid eyes on, literally. And what it helped me to see was that I have been way too willing to kind of overmother, particularly in a new situation where someone is coming in as a stranger, overmother and take on and feel myself some of that new person anxiety. And I've got to say that hit I had was absolutely right. I questioned it, I ignored it for a while, and it just kept coming. I kept learning that I needed to trust it. It was there and it was true. So for me, it's just helping me remember to go slowly and use discretion.
Trust those messages. Yes. Good job. Okay, please put yourself back on mute. And Krista.
I feel like I use it in every single session when I'm doing energy work and crystal healing with any of my clients. I also think that now, maybe not so much in years past, but now I can use it and do use it with friends and to kind of feel things out a little bit and sort of decide, okay, maybe that person should not be part of my everyday because they're bringing me too much negativity. So I think I'm probably repeating what everybody else is saying, but like, I think now I can see where I can use it to help others heal. Yes, that's a given, but to also keep myself much safer than I ever even attempted before.
Love it. Yes. Cynthia.
For me, it's continuing what I'm doing, but also expanding it to help with animals as well as plants and, other areas of our world, not just humans.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, stretch it. So amazing. Melody.
I had an idea, and I don't know if this could be used. Use my ability on myself to help heal the wounds that I have been working on. I don't know if that's possible because I always used my gifts, not realizing what they were at work, judging how people were going to react to me, if it was a good day to approach for something. And I used to do a lot of praying for people at work so that we could get work done and, use that ability and that nature. But there's got to be a way that you can take your own empathic ability and help you find your weak points in yourself.
We will work on that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That was my aha in this session.
Melody, I think that's beautiful for you. And I think what it amounts to for you is you'll utilize it as a good filter. Filter out all what doesn't need to be there and really hone in on yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And Frankie.
So I have a Substack, so I write a lot about what's affecting me, and I think I can kind of feel like the collective things happen in the world and I start to feel like, ugh, I don't like how this feels. This feels sticky and gross. So I can pick a topic to address the grossness that I feel, or the good things. You know, obviously sharing the good is important too. So yeah, and writing, it really helps with writing.
Yes, it does. Wonderful. Jenna, anything to share?
I'm still trying to make sense of all my stuff because it comes, I don't know, different places. Sometimes it's the angels, sometimes it's the spirit guides, sometimes it's something else. So I'm still trying to differentiate.
Yes.
Mhm.
You are amazing. And when
Thank
you
you.
can quiet a little bit of the noise, how's your
Mhm.
room doing? You're keeping it a little bit closer. Is that holding?
Yeah, I really worked with it. I did qigong today. I do qigong every Wednesdays. So I really worked with it today and um the session, each time I do a little bit more with energy work, it completely changes, you know, qigong or yoga or breath work, or it's a
Right.
little bit more intense, I would say. It's been interesting to kind of feel and sense everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see you get to where you can move that boundary into about 6 feet of you
Yeah, I'm trying.
without having it be too intense on you.
I did try that, I think, in yoga today. I'm like, I want to see the boundaries and give other people space and just hold what's mine. So
Yeah.
I really did try today.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to happen super fast because your aura was out there so far. Bringing it to that room-sized area was as much as you could do immediately. You're going to just need to bring it in like a foot at a time.
Mhm.
You're not just going to be able to pull it in instantly. So
Yeah.
you are doing amazing.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
You are doing amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Sean.
So Sylvie says she realized she was protecting people and not taking care of herself physically, energetically, and didn't know how to set boundaries in family and expanded to romantic relationships. Went as to see that she was codependent. You know, when you can realize that you're being codependent, that is such a big realization. So that relationship and healing from it opened her eyes to learn what boundaries are and get strong by placing boundaries. But I'm still learning because I still don't know what a boundary is. And that is so true because if you've never lived with boundaries, you can start by being truly nasty and putting up walls as opposed to boundaries. And having a hard time figuring out what is important to me and what isn't. Yeah. And isolation is not good either. And yet we don't want to let ourselves be run over. So it's really tough to be in isolation, and yet it's really tough. And it takes a while to figure out what is a healthy boundary and what is hurting yourself by isolating. So at this point, I am going to offer you all a break to go to the restroom. We will come back. Let's try to make it somewhere around 5 till. And then we will move into our experience. I will tell you guys I have a rough idea of what we're doing, but it's going to be channeled, so I don't know exact.
We always channel these.
Yesterday we did a meditation. So that may.
Okay, I'm going to go now. So So thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes,
Okay, bye.
nice to have you here. So I will see you all in about 7 minutes.
Mhm.
And we will.
Take your restrooms if you need to use it.
It's a very nice class, Deidre.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I did something today that surprised me. I started to feel like allergy symptoms. It's spring. It's like early spring, early summer here because
Yes.
of the pollen. I actually asked myself today, after working with like my third eye or like my sinus area, is this even mine? It occurred to me, and I heard no. And once I worked on like removing it and removing the residue, it, it was like almost instant that I felt some relief. I was
I
like,
love it.
I was really surprised that I've never thought of allergy symptoms of possibly coming
From some,
outside of me. Yeah.
yeah. It's amazing the things that can be someone else's. Yes.
Yeah, not too long ago, I realized that some of the different things that I've been dealing with for sometimes for a decade or more, it's like 75 to 80% of it wasn't mine. It's like, what? Okay, let's deal with this.
Yeah. Let's not deal with it anymore. Get rid of it.
That's what I meant
Yeah.
in dealing with it.
Yes. Yeah. So as you come back, I am going to ask that you come on camera if you wish me to be able to work on you directly. And it's not required, but it just is how I work. Now, Sean, if Sean's doing it, Sean is not visual in when he works. If you ever go to some of the other people here, they may not be visual. So I know I go to Krista for healings. She is not visual. She does not require seeing you to work on you. But I am visual. So if I'm going to work on you, I do my best work if I can see you.
But to be fair, even I prefer to see the person,
Yeah.
but I don't require it. I can do it. I don't need the person at all, but yes.
Yeah.
It's
Sean,
preferable.
Sean absolutely does not require it at all.
Mhm.
He doesn't work visually at all. So he's the only one I'm waiting to get back.
John thought he had turned back on his camera.
Oh, well, he didn't.
Well, then tell him instead of assuming he knew.
I'm assuming you're not there yet.
I never left the desk.
So we are here. Our experience today is called Tracing the Thread. And it is an individual look at how you came to be an empath. It may take you into this life and just a tracing back, may take you into alternate dimensions. It may take you into past lives. Sean mostly holds the space during these. And he is supremely capable of holding everybody at the same time. He can connect with your angels, your guides, your guardians. Those who work with me or have ever worked with me know exactly how capable, especially if they're ever in Global Healing Society where we go out and we work on the collective. They know Sean's abilities. So you can feel extremely safe no matter where you go. When Sean is in his, and this puts him in his warrior role, because he is holding you and keeping you protected and safe. I will lead. It may feel like a meditation. I'm not a hypnotist, but it may feel a bit like a hypnosis. And I can also be with each and every one of you through working with my angels and guides and guardians. And my attention will shift and go wherever I am needed. So when you're good, I may be focused elsewhere, but I am also able to be in more than one place at a time when I do this type of work. So go. Close your eyes, touch your heart, and breathe in. And release. And breathe in. And release. One more time, deep into your heart. Now I want you to feel a feeling because you choose to do so. Gratitude for anyone or anything. Appreciation, such a strong emotion. To care. We have the ability to care deeply. Or compassion, so important in our life and in our world. Allow this emotion to rise up from your heart center. Let it radiate outward. Let it permeate every organ, every cell, every tissue of your being. Let it fill your body until it is overflowing. And it spills out into your aura. I want you to focus into your heart. And I want you to feel your heart. Pulsing. And filling with love. Love is our offense. Love is our defense. Let love fill you. And allow that love to start to expand. And as it fills your body and moves out into your aura, allow your aura to go out to about 6 feet. Jenna, let the love just fill the aura that you're comfortable with. Just let the love fill the whole thing. Everybody else, I want you to keep it at about 6 feet. Just let your aura be filled and saturated with love. So it's like a seed. I want it to feel like a seed. Jenna, allow your room to change shape to where it becomes a seed-like shape, okay? Size doesn't really matter. It's the shape. And from that seed-like shape, I want you to allow a root to start to come out, start to grow. And this root that starts to grow is the root that's going to take you to the roots of your empathy. It is a root filled with information. For each and every one of you, it will be different. The data within it will be yours alone. Let it start to wind and spread with tendrils that go in the places that they need to go as it wanders through your past. You may visualize, you may feel, you will sense in the ways that are perfect for you. Through those moments of your life where the empathy, the ability to sense, to feel, to know became critical for your well-being. Follow this pathway. The roots may fork They may take you in different directions. Follow them as they come to different points of time. Some may be bright. Shukriya ata avase udsha. Ayukpalia unkapa asave usha palia agapa. Igulia maji, ulia pakashi, buketi to gripata ata. Ulia paka asi, unista to pulia paka asaba akapasi ulka. Ijulia akapase unta anta avashikolia asi pulia asaji. Ukapa antanave ukasplia asha takpe ukki antiskil intusia. What do you notice here? Ushave ukapia. Ishantave ukashi ukapasa. Ushakapia akasha anta. Krista, don't get lost here. Intukapashakavis tapasa. See it, feel it, release it. Ukapsha anta. Ipashantaveshika. Heather, you're okay. Ivasha. I gotcha. Sean's gotcha. Uvasha. Jenny, you are not responsible for anybody but you. Ivasha kapasiku. Melody, it's okay. You are love. Ivasha unta avashe. Ulyata sikupa. Ivasha. Allow the roots to take you deeper. Follow them as they take you into the next step. Usha. Let them keep on guiding you. Whether you see it or feel it or simply know, whatever way you get the information is perfect. Ishta and sa akape ushan. Unshan. Unshan ikpa ofa alya ata. Ivashe. Suzanne, turn left instead of right. Ukapa. Ishta uveshe kapa tan tabasi uyabashi. Frankie, not that deep. Ushantasi uyabase. Uvashi unkasi kubashi. You're good, Cynthia. Ishutabase. Ushatabase. Koya anta abase kaba. Ivushakabasi uta. It's okay, Krista. We gotcha. Into shabatsu. Yeah, akase. 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 Unshanakabasi. Usha. Let them take you. The roots are going to branch two ways. Make a choice. Ukashi ukapasa anti. Ukapasa ukapasa. Let whatever comes come. You are good. Don't analyze it. Was this about safety? Was this about caring for others? Was this about understanding what wasn't being said? Let the pattern lead you. Untana shavasiku pasasitu taliopa arashi. Ooh. You're okay, Heidi. I gotcha.
We got you.
Ooh. Ah, ah, you. I shall tea. I shall tea. Open your awareness a little bit wider. Little bit wider. Has this ability always been with you? Ah, ah, ah. Pay attention to your feelings. Ooh, tashana vase katave. Ooh, ooh, ata shana vase. Julia, anave shakapata. Naravesha. Ushi. Ushi. Uyatanave. Hold on to where you are and to what you have thought and felt and realized, and allow yourself to slowly come back up the channel of these roots and these realizations. Follow it back up to your body. Slowly, quietly, allow yourself to come back up and get fully back inside your body. And take out your journal and write down what you experienced, because this will not stay with you for long. So once you are fully back in your body, write it down. I'm gonna give you guys about 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna ask anybody who's willing to share. I would love to hear you for some of your experiences. But I'm gonna give you about 2 more minutes so that those who are still writing don't get mixed up with other people's experiences. Heidi, if you'd be more comfortable going back off camera, go ahead.
I will handle protection so you don't need to be on camera.
Okay, I was going to say, but I've already shown everybody my beauty. Thank you, Sean.
Yeah. Okay, so Krista, I see that you are unmuted, so why don't I have you talk first?
Okay, let me pull out the note. So this might be a little jumbled, I apologize, but what it felt like was I was taken back to early childhood and received a message that I was never meant to feel alone and that my gifts were wrong, and that, like, to sort of transmute that to now, where I can use it to help others and help myself to keep myself safe and utilize clear boundaries with others. Also, that it's not fake when I can feel the energy of animals and communicate with them, and that I should continue to do this as a source of comfort to animals and people if needed. Like if somebody has a pet that they want to know something about, I might be able to help. Okay, what else? I got a clear message that says I should continue to follow my dreams. And at the very end, a beautiful being arrived to me and placed a just absolutely amazing crown of flowers on my head. And the message that the crown was to deliver to me is that I am truly loved and appreciated, and to keep the image of the crown of flowers in my mind to remember that message. And that's it.
I love it.
It's pretty trippy, Deirdre.
You are wonderful.
I didn't want to come back. I hate the coming back part. I like to travel.
I know. And we have to come back.
So thank you.
I like having you as part of my circle.
Thank you to you and Sean.
Melody, I see you've come off mute.
Well, my light language came through pretty much the whole time. I was muted, so nobody heard it. I was taken back to when I was a witch and burnt at the stake. When that's one of the empaths times. And then I was shown a sperm seed that had penetrated my mother. And that is when, at conception, I became an empath at that time, knowing
I just got goosebumps.
Who to trust, even as an unborn child. And I believe you told me I am loved. I think that's what you said. I was too busy singing. But it was a reminder that I am loved.
Yes.
And that I am love. And that is my message to spread out into the world, into the collective.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome. Cynthia.
I got that I took the right branch is what I got instead of the left branch. And so it was my father's side of the family, and that I've been an empath pretty much my whole life. And apparently there's a fair amount of empaths in that side of the family, and that it helped a lot of relatives survive and stay safe, or as safe as possible at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Suzanne.
Yeah, so it was an amazing experience. Thank you for guiding us through that, Deirdre, as you always beautifully do. So I met a being that was white, surrounded by blue, and was in front of my Akashic records. And I traveled back to pyramid times and realized as I was a young girl that my mother was one of the goddesses in those eras and was connected to one of the outwardly spiritual beings. And so when you said turn to the left, I turned to the left, and then I was in another world, and was still that child with that same mother living amongst other beings. And then you said, I think you said turn again, or I turned again, and then I was like crowned as a seed, birth seed, being an empathic person. And I was told that it's connected with the muse, it's connected to creativity and art, and my purpose is to bring a visual to people to help them to see their spiritual paths and to open their awareness in that way. And of course, I have to bring up images, so I'll just show you real quick, because I always like to have images to put in my book.
Yes.
So I just ran this through AI really quick. This is my image that I got today. So I thought it was kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
That's gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was my experience.
Beautiful.
That's amazing, Suzanne. My goodness. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing with us.
I got
Yeah.
such goosebumps when you talked about going into Egypt. Oh, it was just like on fire.
I would have never thought. I would have never imagined that.
Oh, I see, Heidi, you have your mute off. Are you wanting to share?
Yeah, and I do want to say thank you to Suzanne, because when you said your birth seed, that's what. So I kept going, the roots kept going in all kinds of places and all kinds of lifetimes and back and deep and deep and deep. And where I went to was the birth seed of my soul is an empath. That's what I've always been in every lifetime. And that's why, and particularly, and it doesn't seem uncomfortable for me, and it never did seem uncomfortable for me. There were times where I did shut it down. But it, and the other thing that happened with it, especially at the end when you were talking about the other things, is I realized how I've distorted it by thinking it's there for me to take care of people, thinking it's there for me to take their burden, thinking it's there for that. It is not. It's an amazing tool. It's who I am, and and that's how I distorted it. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so
Amazing.
much.
You're wonderful. Thank you. Heather, I see you took your
Oh.
mute off.
So I stayed in this lifetime. I was taken back to the age of about 2. I think my younger brother was born then, and it seems to me about that time I realized that I had lost whatever connection with my mother, emotional, or much of it that I relied on, and that was gone. And it probably wasn't going to come back. So I did a funny thing, and I did the same with my dad later, but I also did a funny thing for me. And I just, as I think about this, I thought I cut off my feelings of connection with them at the same time as I went into an empath connection with them. So it was like holding them off with one hand, with no expectation of anything from them, but also needing to know what their feelings were to help them. That is the craziest thing. But that's clearly, I mean, I'm just realizing this now, how convoluted this is.
You cut it off on a
I
on a on the
had no expectation anymore.
yeah,
And I didn't.
but you kept it on the
Yes.
subliminal realm.
Yeah. And I felt responsible for my mother for her feelings, even though I expected nothing back. It's just very weird. Nothing back, and believed I had distanced myself enough that I didn't care, which of course was wrong. I did.
But doesn't that explain so much of your life?
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just blown away by this. Yeah.
Amazing work. And amazing open to share with everybody. Thank you.
You.
Frankie or Jenna, are you comfortable enough to share? Okay, Frankie.
I think I also kind of saw the root of like how I got to where I got as a kid. Like my parents were very poor, and so they came from big families. So something I never would have guessed that my father had to be very wary of his own behavior so he wouldn't get beat. His mother was beat. He always brings it back to his mother being beat. And he understood why she would get really angry and hit her kids at certain points. He also knows that he goaded her into some behavior with his behavior. But I'd never made that connection that that maybe my shutting down and keeping my feelings to myself would have come from the patrilineal line as well as the mom line, right? And my mom's dad used to drink, but it wasn't like he was a mean drunk. But she felt the need to keep the status quo with the family because my grandmother would get really upset with him because he'd be spending money and not being a responsible dad when he was out drinking. So it wasn't physical harm, but she was trying to like teach him, okay, stand up like this so she doesn't know you're drunk. So the fixing or the survival has come from both sides of my family. So that kind of like, whoa. And the reason I think I have it in that perspective, like my father was the loud one. He'd get mad, and that's where I started protecting. I had a really decent childhood. I didn't get beat up, but that survival thing is, I'm a baby. I don't know what's going on. those survival instincts are just going to come on. You don't have to be
Yes,
touched. The room can just feel unsafe anyway.
right. Absolutely. And Jenna, to let you share and
Yeah, I was on a walk. So I was taken, it's like a cement pathway through here, but it was dark outside. There's no leaves on the vines. It's just like sticks, and it was just very dark. You don't see the sidewalk. We were walking towards some light, and I remember feeling myself getting a little skeptical. And then this hand that was just all you could see was this hand come out, surrounded by a bunch of white light. And I just took the hand. I said, "Take me wherever I need to go." And I shut my eyes and I just followed, like holding this hand. And I was taken to several of past lives, and it ended up ultimately being me in a forest, and I could really somehow communicate with the plants and the trees and some animals. And throughout the past lives, I believe I was a witch at one time, working with herbs to help people heal. And there was an image of not me in this lifetime as a little girl, but me as a little girl with these healing abilities that nobody could understand, or some sort of ability that um, basically I had to, in each of these scenarios, I had to shut things down just to fit in and survive.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, and I could feel myself, even though I can't think of any specific this lifetime example. Growing up, I just always wanted that, and I think that everybody does at that age too, just wanted to fit in, just wanting to fit in with family. And even now I still go through it. There's not a good cohesive fit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was an interesting journey. And oh, at the end, it was just this white light just engulfed me, and it was just, I felt so much love and safety and support. Mhm.
You guys are all amazing. You're wonderful.
You're perfect just the way you are.
Yeah. There was a point where I told you not so deep, Frankie. There was something about when I commented to each of you, I felt something at that moment in time. And I can't tell you right now what it was I felt, but it was like you were going a wrong direction. You were going too deep and I react to what I'm feeling. And so I can't tell you exactly what it was at that moment in time. But whatever message I get, I deliver.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not sure where you were at that moment in time, but there was somewhere you were going that my team felt you were going too deeply.
You were not yet ready for, but
So our anchor statement today is my sensitivity has meaning. Tomorrow, we are going to pull everything together. The teaching part will probably be a bit shorter. I have put together a meditation that I channeled ahead of time, basically. I wrote it, channeled it, put it together. And it is longer. So we may not go the full 90 minutes tomorrow. I definitely won't be keeping you over. But plan on a longer experience. I will be talking to you tomorrow about working with me and a very special offer I have for you if you want to work with me. And most of what we do is going to be experience tomorrow. So come and let's have fun.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, everybody.
And I did not record that amazing
Meditation.
meditation, but well, it is recorded in Phantom, but
So it will
Seven.
be sent out. If it may not be sent out at the first part.
Yeah, it will be sent out, but it may take a little bit longer because Scott's going to have to help me do the editing on it.
So it will be sent out probably with tomorrow's.
Yeah. And Suzanne, yes, there are replays for days 1 and 2. I will get those over to you.
You can find them right now easily on our
Spiritual
YouTube.
Voyage YouTube channel.
Which you will also be able to find this one's when it goes up.
Yeah. Okay. Namaste.
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 Bye-bye.